Guys, it's Anissa B and welcome to my asylum. Today, well, let me just start off with this. Lately, kind of been down in the dumps. Haven't really felt like the need to do anything. I just kind of been consuming myself once again with my children and kind of like just been like whatever. But I have been actually like working out. Just as far as like my creativity, I freaking feel like I've actually lost it. So I'm trying to like figure out ways by meditating and just getting my body moving to get back into it. As most of you guys know, if you guys are following me on my social media, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, also on Snapchat. I have been busting my ass basically to get back into shape. I had a daughter about 7 months ago, and girls, let me just say something about girls. I have 2 boys and a daughter. My sons were very nice to me, not so much my daughter. I kind of ballooned up, you know, TMI, but got on birth control. The birth control just ballooned me up even more. Just was swollen for no damn reason. Finally, I'm off the birth control and I'm slowly getting back into things. I was also kind of suffering with, my dad passed away, as some of you guys know who follow me on social media. And I am still recovering from his passing. It's almost 2 years and his birthday is actually coming up in about a week. And I've just been kind of, maybe that is one of the reasons why like I'm like, I don't know what to do, because like my brain has went blank. So I've been suffering with that, and I've also been suffering with postpartum depression. But I'm the type of person that I am definitely trying my hardest to fight it. And, you know, some people talk to professionals and some people take, you know, medication. Me, on the other hand, I talk to professionals, but I'd rather just try to fight this and feel this pain and then kind of like go through it. But I always recommend, I'm not a professional and I don't know what's best for everyone else, but I always recommend someone, you know, seek attention if they feel that way. Talk to somebody. It's very, very important that you find moms in the community and where you're living that may have the same interest as you, or if not have the same interest, at least you guys can share some, like, you know, kid stories, you know, struggles, whatever that case may be. I moved from New York and now I'm in a more smaller town, and sometimes that becomes a challenge, but little by little I am allowing myself to get out and like actually do things and communicate with people besides for just my children and my husband. But yeah, so that's kind of where I've been at, and where I'm just trying to figure out things and figure out exactly what I need to be doing, because I had this like spark of energy and then all of a sudden it went away. So I just know that that's still like, I'm just right now riding my wave. So I'm trying to be that surfer and ride. Yeah, I kind of wanted to come on today and just kind of show you guys a little bit of a face, which this is gonna seem absolutely backwards. But since everybody's hype is on like the whole Jaclyn Hill palette and all that good stuff, I'm like, holy crap, I completely forgot that I purchased some Jaclyn Hill products. I actually purchased brushes, and I purchased 4 of the older palettes, but I've never used them. I've actually never played with them at all. So I am like, I need to use these sooner than later, because like, dude, I can't keep buying palettes and not using them. So that's kind of what I wanted to come here and just kind of play with these 2 palettes. I wanted to do more of like out of my comfort zone, and do like maybe like a green, maybe use the blue. Who the heck knows what I'm gonna do today. I just wanted to I'm gonna go and apply my foundation, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, I am back and I am pretty much covered as much as I want to be for right now. I may do contour, I may not. Who the heck knows what I am doing today? Because I don't know, so whatever. Anyways, as I mentioned before, I have those Jaclyn Hill older palettes. I know, once again, it is backwards. I never used them. And I was kind of like looking over some of the reviews for her new palette, and I was like, maybe I need to hold off and just kind of use what I got. I mean, some of the people said it wasn't the most greatest pigmented palette. I purchased it a few months ago and I never actually used them. I did mention I may do like a green or something, but I don't think I'm gonna do green today. I actually think I'm going to do something as like really like kind of like sunset inspired colors. So yeah, let's get started. I'm not gonna use the Jaclyn Hill VIP because it's very shimmery and I don't want my base to be shimmery. I want it to be more of a matte look. So I'm going to use the Soft Glam, the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. This is my baby. If you notice, I'm going to use the Tempera. It's very dusty. Sorry about that, guys. That looks so ratchet, but I'm going to use the Tempera, which is more of like a lighter color, can match your skin. That's what your base of your eyelids should look like. And I'm going to use one of Jaclyn Hill's brushes. Like I said before, I'd never used these. I just whipped out stuff that I had in a bag and I was like, dude, I gotta start using these things because like, why do I buy them and not use them? So this is the Morphe with Jaclyn Hill, the JH40. I'm just gonna put it on, dab it in, and I'm gonna cover my lid. I like to go all the way on the top of the brow bone, just because it gives it like a little bit of a highlight. So, and then I go under, kind of shape my eye. And then doing the same thing to the next side. So I'm gonna start with the Ring the Alarm palette, and I'm going to use, I really like the Rush in here. So I'm going to start with this color right here. It's a more lighter color. It's like a peachy orange kind of color. I'm going to use the same brush, the JH40. And I'm going to like, I'm going to go a little bit hard with the brush because of the fact that the rumor is these weren't that great, so, and that they weren't very pigmented, which I'm like, dang it, but whatever, I got it. And I'm gonna actually start at the corner. So yeah, and I'm gonna kind of like window wipe kind of motion into the crease. And I'm gonna have to go over it again because like the rumor, it's real. I want it to be very poppy, and right now I don't feel like it is, so. There we go. I'm gonna go higher on the brow bone too. And then I'm gonna do the other side. Because I'm gonna use a few yellows and the oranges in both palettes, I'm not going to like OD with that one Rush color. But I'm going back with the Rush again on the other side, and I'm gonna start from the outer corner again. And I'm gonna just ride it up to the brow bone. I'm gonna dip it again, just so it could be a little bit more pigment, because these aren't as pigment as I would love them to be. And there's fallout, but that's okay because I always go over it anyway, so it's not like I'm like not super pissed off about it. Window wipe. And then after that, I am going to use the Alert, which is on the same palette, because it's like a more deeper, you know, orange. And I'm gonna use that for the corners of my eye. I know that seems weird because it's darker, but trust me, I have an idea. And I'm gonna move outward to give it that, like, you know, faded color. And move out, like shape the eye. Like if I had tape on it. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other corner. And I'm gonna, I didn't put enough. I'm gonna just, once again, put it in the crease, rise it up, window wipe, blend it on the other side as well. And also give it that shape, that like, you know, almond shape. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in with the Armed and Gorgeous palette, and I'm gonna use the yellow. And I am gonna actually change my brush because I have so many dang brushes, I need to start using them. I'm gonna go in with this small brush by Jaclyn Hill, and it's the JH42, the collab with Morphe. And I'm gonna dab this in, and I'm gonna shove it in here like, dude, like I'm pissed, like, just to make sure that the yellow comes out, because I feel like from what I'm getting, it's not as like poppy as I'd love it to be. So I'm gonna just put that right in the middle right here, on top of what I did already. And I'm gonna like reapply, just so I know for sure. I feel super happy with going on. Give it that, like, you know, sun color. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. I would put like do the whole concealer thing, but I kind of just want to try the out without having to do the whole motion over here. Real nice and good, and also tap and tap. Oh, FYI, my eyelashes are not, they're extensions. They're not like false eyelashes. I didn't glue them on or anything, so that's why they're still on my face. After that, I am actually gonna go in with the what you call it? I'm gonna go in with the Agent, and I'm gonna also put it so that way there's like a very like nice hue of the color, like it looks like almost like the sunset, like it's going in those patterns. So I'm gonna use the hue, the Agent. gonna go back with my JH40 brush. I'm gonna go down under my lower lid, kind of because I want it to be like a whole like circle. Not a circle, but I want it to go around. I don't want it to just be the top lid. Then I'm gonna go in with the Secure, which is on the Armed and Gorgeous palette still. And I'm gonna go in with the Access and mix those together. So it has like this really pretty, like sunny kiss type of color. And I'm gonna do the same thing to my other lid. I'm gonna use the Secure first. Give it that, you know, extra like fade away color. And then I'm gonna go downwards. I'm going very close to the brow bone, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually clean this fallout out, and when I clean the fallout out, it'll actually look, it'll all come together, because then I'll clean off the eyebrow bone a bit. I'm not perfect, I will make mistakes, so this is a mistake. Anyhow, I'm gonna go back in, and I'm gonna really take a lot of the yellow, and I'm gonna go over it right here like this, just so that, you know, there's that yellow. Use my finger. Sometimes it's good to use a finger. I know that's like a controversy thing. Like, it's not good to use your finger, so non-professional. But I used to do a lot of acrylics with my dad, and I liked the feeling. I like to touch and feel the paint on the canvas. Never was fully a fan of brushes, but here I am. Okay. Then I am going to go with the Smooth Criminal, and I'm going to use this Jaclyn Hill JH33 brush. It's a little bit more poofier. And I usually use the Sigma brushes. So those are my go-to brushes, and I use some of the Morphe brushes, but mostly I use the Sigma brush. And I use Anastasia Beverly Hills brow brush, but that's about it. So I'm gonna go in with this one, and I'm gonna put it in the corner of my eye to give it depth. Now I dipped quite a bit on here, so I have to re-dip because this is not coming out as I would love it to. So. And I don't like the way that the brush is actually like separating because I did that. The brush is kind of like, because I dipped it so hard. That's that, and see how the fallout is just like, it's like all over my face. Thank God I didn't like put anything on it and was like, I'm just gonna put my eyeshadow on, because if I would have done that, then I would have been pretty pissed off, but I'm not. I just look like I have a black eye for it now. Gonna go back with the Smooth Criminal on this corner. The colors kind of remind me of like the sun and like New Mexico, which is like my favorite place to be. So after I'm done doing that, I am going to use, where the heck did I put that one brush? Here we go. This is a little bit more dense of a brush, and I'm gonna use, it's the JH41. I'm gonna go with the Prow, or yeah, I think that's what it's called. And I'm going to put this under this part of my eyes. And like dig it into the crease of my eyes to give it dimension. And go with this JH40 and kind of blend it in a little. I'm gonna go with Prow again. Start under my eye and then bring it up. Okay, after I'm done with that, I am going to be right back. I want to clean some of this off because I look a little ridiculous. And then I'll be back and I will do this part of under my eyes. I normally just put foundation under it. I don't do the whole preparation. Okay, so I'm back. I will say this much. So far when I was wiping my face, which I'm going to do my whole like prepping or whatever, I don't love it. I don't love this color. I don't love the way that it came out. It's not my favorite. I guess that's why one of the reasons why I never use it. I have no idea why I use it. But what I do know is I'm very confusing, and I think what I'm gonna do is, because of the way that it's not popping out, there's a trick to make it pop out, which is super like not part of the rules, but I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna use a concealer and I'm going to color the yellow where I put it in, and I'm hoping that what will happen is it'll brighten up the yellow that I used, because right now this is just not working for me. It's like, I'm like, oh, I hate it. So let's see. Like I said, I never used this palette before. I've heard not the most greatest things about it, but I was like, you know what, let me give it a shot. So let's see. It's the Morphe concealer. And I'm going to basically, hold on, let me just put a little bit more. I'm going to dab it right in the middle. I know, completely like not idealistic. You can definitely cake it if you're putting too much. I'm trying to go light. Put some more. Yeah, so I know that the palette just came out maybe about 2 weeks ago or whatever, but it's I didn't buy it. I did, however, buy the Jeffree Star Blood Lush palette, so I'm waiting for that to come in. I can't wait. It's completely different than normally what I would look for in a palette, just because I'm not the type of person to buy colorful palettes. I rather just stick with nude colors or something that's like very like, you know, I'd rather spend my money on something I know I'm gonna use than something that might sit in the, you know, the makeup drawer for like ever and ever. And that's like what I think happened with this palette, is I kind of let it sit in the makeup drawer. So I'm gonna do the same thing to this side, and I'm just putting it in the middle and in the corner of the eye. And I'm hitting it all the way to the top under the crease. You want to kind of dab it in. And then I'm going to use, I'm gonna just make sure there's no like extra powder on it, but I'm gonna use this brush right here, this more dense brush, and I'm going to use the yellow again. And I want to reapply it because I felt like it wasn't working. So we'll see. Okay. I'm gonna switch over brushes because that brush is not picking up too much. So just give me 1 second. I'm gonna use back to the JH40. There's still fallout, but to me it's way better. Just gives you that more color that I'm looking for. And now I'm gonna play around with this palette as well, since to me it's like the other palette's making me a little bit like not as happy as I want it to be. So I know, big twist, but I'm going to use this peachy color right here. And I'm just gonna, yeah, see, to me that's better. I'm putting it all the way up to the brow. See, now this is giving me more of that sunset feeling than the Jaclyn Hill palette was, so. And that's the old one, so don't judge the palette on the new palette on the old palettes. I'm assuming that they're a lot better. So I'm not saying that Jaclyn Hill sucks, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the palettes that I got the pigment in them is not the most best. And they weren't cheap palettes. They weren't like $10 or anything. They were pretty pricey, you know? So I just expected to be a little bit more of a better formula, but that does not mean that the palette's terrible. That's not what I'm saying. And maybe I'm just doing I'm not doing the best that I could be doing for them. I have no idea. I don't come on here to badmouth anyone. It's not my place, so. I'm gonna go back with the yellow again. And I wanna put more. Yellow. See, to me, I like that. I know there's a lot of fallout still, and it's that fully covered with makeup or anything, but I really like that all the way up to the brow bone. I'm gonna take my makeup remover. See, and that doesn't bother me. The orange does not bother me, the orange fallout, because I could use it to cover up all like my purple and all that stuff. But before I do that, I'm gonna use the Anastasia contour and highlight palette, and I'm gonna use the actual warm coral color, not the warm coral, I'm sorry, the cream color, and I'm going to put some in here to brighten up under my eyes, since right now it's a hot mess. And I'm gonna also use it to trace where I wanna say goodbye to that orange. I let it sit there for a while, like to like kind of like bake it on. Sorry, I'm back. Oh, my battery was dying. I literally have to hop on here whenever I have a chance, because usually it's chaotic here. So back to what I was doing. I am just reapplying the I'm not reapplying, I'm applying the concealer, and it's kind of supposed to just shape it out to wherever there was like fallout. Because it's orange, it's like the perfect like color for color correction. So I could just like dust it off and leave it, because I normally use like an orange tone, peachy tone to cover all my dark circles, so works well. And I'm just putting it on the top of my brow. I'm gonna go with my blender, I call it my beauty, I guess it's called a beauty blender, but I've been calling it a blender. And this is the one I use for my foundation application. I'm just gonna put it right here. I'm gonna dab it on my eyebrows. If the eyebrows get light, it's okay, because you could go over it with the clay, or you can use your eyebrow mascara gel, whatever you call it. So it looks a little ratchet right now, but it's just because I'm reshaping the shape. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and I'm going to apply yellow to give it that like more, like I want it to kind of blend out. And the yellow I'm using is from the 35B Morphe palette. I kind of am skipping the Jaclyn Hill. It's not working for me as I would love it to. I'm gonna reapply some yellow because it's not enough yellow. Just so it can kind of have that effect. And I'm being a little bit more careful so that I don't have to go over the fallout again. And I'm not like being deep with it. I'm kind of like lightly giving it the color it needs. See, to me, that's like a lot better. Do it on the other side. Give it the color it needs. Very lightly. And I'm also going to use this pencil brush, which is the Jaclyn Hill, the JH39. I'm not a 100% fan of the brushes, but I'm trying to stay fully committed to at least the brushes. So I'm going to dab it back in that yellow, the 35B Morphe yellow. And I want to put it in the corner of the eye. So that way I can give it that like pop. And then I'm going to use this super duper dense skinny brush. This one is a JH43, and I'm going to dab it into the, I'm gonna go back to the Jaclyn Hill for 1 second to grab the, what you call that? The brown that I saw that was like, I was down to do, let's see. The Secret. So the Secret, which is in the Ring the Alarm palette. See how that looks. It's real thin. Kind of want to go with something thin because I don't want the fallout to happen. And I'm just like gently tapping it in. Kind of creating like that, you know, line so that it looks like it's like smoke, kind of like a smoky line, straight line. I'm gonna do that to the other side. If you dab it, chances of it falling out are like a lot less, so. And if you have like, you know, of course, a smaller brush. I'm gonna go with this JH40 again. I'm just gonna lightly tap it just to make sure it's all in there. I'm just gonna kind of buff it right there, like. And I'm gonna move this part up. Give it more dimension because right now I feel like it's super low and there's like no dimension to it, so hold on. And for me, this isn't good enough as far as like the colors go, so I'm going to jump back to the Anastasia and I'm going to use the Cypress Umber, which is like a brown, and I'm going to use this JH40 again, and I'm gonna put it right here, and I'm gonna really tap it so it doesn't fall out. See, that to me is gorgeous because the amount of pigment in that is like amazing. See that? It makes the yellow really pop. Just like that, and do to the other side. Kind of tap it in, work it in. See, that looks pretty to me. And now I'm starting to see the sunset like I want. Like I want the sunset with like darkness to it. I don't want it to just be like this bright sunset. So it's working for me. And then I am going to go in with the, see, I wanted to use, hold on 1 second, sorry guys, the Guilt Trip, but I'm almost afraid. Let me see something. Let me see, compare them. Okay, so this is the Guilt Trip, and then Guilt Trip, this is the Anastasia bronze. So for me, this is a lot more lighter. I will try it before I put on the Anastasia bronze, but so far, I love the way this is so smooth, a lot more smoother than this one is. So let's try. Oh wait, I haven't even tried the coin. Maybe the coin is different. Let's see. Okay, now I like that. The coin is nice, so I'm gonna try the coin instead of the guilt trip. The coin, it looks a lot more of like a sun inspiration. See, that looks pretty. Okay. You do have to use a lot of it. Bit of fallout, that's fine, because I'm not done with my face. And then I'm gonna put some here. Go back with the VIP. It's a little orange now, but I'm gonna go back with the VIP and just add that right in the corner, on the bottom and on the top. Give it that like highlight in the corner of your eye and on the top. I think I'm gonna leave my eyes alone, and okay, so I'm going to stop with my eyeshadow for right now. I'm gonna use concealer, a little bit more concealer, just because I have to wipe some off again because of fallout, which sucks, but it is what it is. And then I am going to contour my face, and I'm gonna do two different things. I'm going to use some liquid. Well, it's more of a cream-based contour. The Fenty, mine is the French Vanilla, and I'm gonna use the Espresso, and I'm also gonna use some powder to like settle down the colors. So I'm gonna start off with, again, the Fenty concealer, and I'm just gonna dab a little bit more on just to make sure that there's no fallout. Yeah, you know, honestly, like I said, I never played with the palette, so it was new to me, so. Okay, and once I'm done with that, then I'm just gonna use the French Vanilla first. Love these things are amazing. And I'm just gonna make an ugly face. Reshape my eyes too. I like doing that. Bringing it all the way here onto the side of my nose. And on my chin. on my jaw. Look straight up like a tribal princess. Gonna take this espresso before I actually blend it in, and I'm going to start at the right at the edge of the tip of my ear, and I'm just gonna stop right there and do it to this one. I'm going to use a brush today and show you exactly how to do it. I'm going to use the tip of this brush because it's very thin, and I'm going to put some right there. Kind of trace my tip of my nose, and I am also going to put some on the edges of my forehead. I don't want to put too much, but because this is pretty pigmented. Fenty is pretty amazing. And then I'm going to use the French vanilla again and try to just get it in the middle, just like that. Yes. And I'm going to use my favorite brush that I love to use, which is this G30 brush, and I'm going to start with the contouring first. The reason why I like to start with the contouring is because then, let's say if I put it's too dark, I can always go over it when I'm blending the highlighting areas. I can always go over it a little bit and kind of like blend it in so it doesn't look so like dark and I don't look like a completely different color. So and you want to go upwards, you do not want to go down to the face, just wouldn't be good. So kind of do like that. And then I'm going to use my beauty blender again. It's got foundation and concealer from today, so I'm just using the same one. I don't want to use a new one. And you just kind of tap in just to see what it looks like. For me, I love cream a lot better, so I'm going to use whatever like is. There's always going to be some product on the brush, and I just want to kind of make sure I do the right spot and give it that attention it needs. And all the way up to the temple, and I'm going to blend this one out all the way to the temple as well, and on the side of the nose, and the top of the lip, the jaw area, and I'm gonna use this brush again because I feel like this one looks bam and this one is kind of like ah. And what I'm doing is it's just kind of tapping it so it can have that like bam look and not the look. I'm gonna use this blender again. Yeah. Then I'm gonna tap my forehead, kind of allow it to go over my eyebrows. And then I am the type to use this brush again and like really slowly blend it, blend it, blend it. If you just swipe it in, you're just gonna look like I said before, it's gonna look like a dirt mark. So you wanna then tap, tap, tap. Tap the jawline over here. Got some sideburns. Make sure, kind of tap the nose a bit so it's not too dark. Like I said before, I don't really like to contour my nose, but I'm trying to just give you a little bit of information about how to do it. Instead of using the Fenty setting powder, I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier translucent powder. But before I actually do that, what I want to do is I want to go in with the Morphe palette, the actual contour Morphe palette that I did in a previous video. And I'm actually going to go in with the white, believe it or not. And I'm going to just tap that on the corners. Kind of fan it, and this is the Jaclyn Hill JH02. Fan it right here. Definitely rub it in the jaw area. The white is my go-to color on this palette. I really, really like it. It's kind of like a setting powder. Then I want to bake. I want to bake under the eyes, so I'm gonna use my blendy. And I'm gonna bake my eyes. Bake my forehead. Bake my nose. Bake my jawline. Tap just a little bit on the tip, the top of the lip and the bottom. And while that's baking, I'm going to use this brush, which is like a little, angle brush. And I'm going to use this for the powder. And wherever I put the contour, I'm going to reapply with the powder. And I'm gonna use both the browns. And I'm just gonna kind of give it like that bronzy look today, just so it looks like sun kiss, and gives it more of that like bam. Whatever excess I use from the back of my ear all the way under my chin, not right here, because then I'll look like I have a beard. Okay, now I'm going to use my favorite ever brush, the Morphe E52. It's the only brush I really like to use to dust off all the setting powder. I got everything all over me. Put some on there. Make sure there's no dust on there. So if you feel like this is too bright, you just kind of tap, 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 tap. And then, and you can also use your the one you were using for your bronzer, just like that. Okay. And I'm also gonna use some blush, because I love blush. And I like to kind of put that right up, like I said before, whenever I put powder on, I like to put it over where I put the contour. It's kind of bright. It kind of is like very, very bright, but it's just to make your focus on the eyes. Okay. And then I want to spray my face because obviously, like I said before, I feel super duper dry. Let that dry. I'm going to now focus on my eyes again, and I'm going to use this very dense brush, and I'm going to use the Cypress again and reapply brown right there. Because I want it dark under here. And for the corners of the eye, I am going to use the VIP again. I am then going to re-spray my face because I want to be super hydrated when I put my glow on, which I am going to use the Fenty Glow because the Fenty Glow is amazing. So, why not use it, right, guys? I have to literally clean all these brushes now because they are messy. Let's see. So I'm gonna use a Fenty, and like I said before, I have the Mean Money and the Hustle Baby. And I am going to start with the Mean Money. It's more of a like opaque look. And I'm gonna start right under my eye. Do the other side. Give that right look. Do the tip of, well, do the whole nose. I like to do the whole nose. The top of the lip and the chin. I'm gonna fan out into the forehead, and then I'm gonna start applying the more sheer color, which is the Hustle Baby, and make that shit shine. Always dab a little on my nose instead. There you go. And on my top of my lip. Okay. I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia, the pomade, the powder granite brow stuff, since my foundation kind of took away. And I'm going to just kind of like re-darken them a bit with the Anastasia brush. And I kind of like to just lightly start like towards the front, but like not quite. Because then you can easily end up making your brows go in and you're like, oh. that looks good. And then I am going to use some mascara for the bottom of my lids, or my eyelashes, and my lids. And I want my waterline to be dark, so I'm going to use that Kat Von D, the lash liner. It's my favorite. You have to remember, you have to kind of like tap it, don't smear it, because then it won't look as dark on the waterline. Sometimes you get some in your eyeball, and if you have contacts, oh man, it's so much fun. I'm going to use the other side since it's a very pigmented. And then I am going to go in with I'm a Whore for Kat Von D. I'm very sad that she's no longer part of the company for whatever reason. Not my business. Don't want to get into like all that like YouTube drama bullshit, but I really am sad that she's gone from the company, but we will see what the future looks like. But I am gonna use, I haven't used this in a while, I'm gonna use the Witches, and I'm also going to use the Naruto. I think I'm saying it right. I'm gonna also, with that, I'm also gonna use my Crucifix lip liner to start. And I'm not like putting it like to let it show. It's just like a guideline for me. And then I'm going to go in with the Witches first because this is going to be the base color. For me, the whole scandals of whatever the heck may have happened, I think sometimes in this world, in this life, people tend to point fingers and judge other people, and I'm just at a place where I think it's a little bit like, who the hell are you to judge anybody's like character? I don't think that she was right for judging Jeffree Star's. I don't think that everyone's right for judging her. It's not my business. She's never hurt me physically or like in an emotional way, so therefore I just feel like it's just so stupid to actually waste your energy on stuff like that. It should be more about self-love and love awareness and giving love to other people, and not just be pointing a finger. Like, stop judging, bro. Everybody stop judging. So that's where I'm at with that whole situation. Only reason why I bring that up is because I was watching some YouTube videos and I was just like, dude, oh my God. Everybody, relax, guys. I like to kind of wipe it down before I like double dip. So I'm gonna put a little bit more of the red. And there you have it. It's an inspiration of sunset, sunrise kind of look. As far as the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palettes, these older ones, the Armed and Gorgeous and the Ring the Alarm, I am going to say that they were not my favorite. I ended up turning to the Morphe Brushes palette, the 35B with all the colors in it and kind of like boosting out the pigment of the colors that I was trying to go for. I also had to use a few other palettes, which is not normal in, you know, makeup case. You know, there's people who use like 5 different foundations like me. But this is kind of like a lesson to learn. Sometimes I buy things for the hype and I should do like maybe a little bit more of like researching and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, not my favorite palette. Enjoyed getting some type of creativity done because I need to allow myself to allow my juices, my creative juices to flow. But yeah, so hopefully I will continue to make videos and, you know, you guys join me on my journey with vlogging and just you know, just ride with me, ride those waves with me, you know. And if you haven't followed me on my social media, I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Anissa's Artistry Asylum. And also, if you haven't subscribed, guys, subscribe down below, like my video, share, comment. If you guys ever want to see something, if you guys have a different palette that has really cool, vibrant colors that you guys could suggest, that'd be awesome. I'm down for any suggestions. I'm always open to hear someone else's ideas and all that stuff. But until next time, guys, stay healthy and keep dreaming. And I will see you guys soon.